Hey guys! I'm still alive and kicking, so you can all stop your worrying now. I'm here, I'm in front of the camera. It's all fine, nobody panic. As you can see from the title, it was a little bit serious as to why I disappeared. But I'm going to go through things with you now so you sort of understand, and it creates a bit of awareness more than anything. Because I've been in two minds about actually recording anything, to be honest, or saying anything, because I am quite a private person. But I figured if it can do somebody some good down the line, it's got to be worth doing, hasn't it? So we're going to go through. So Saturday, I was live streaming Transport Fever, as I normally do every week. I don't even know how many hours into it, but it was quite a few hours into it. I know when the stream actually ended was 4 3/4 hours, but sometime before that, I was starting to struggle a little bit with my right hand. So I was having problems basically coordinating my fingers on the mouse, pressing the mouse button and moving the mouse around the screen. I just couldn't coordinate it, and I was struggling a bit. So I said to everybody on stream, right, I'm going to put my hand down my side. It's gone a bit numb. You know, it's just probably where I sat here and it's like on a hard desk. That's what I thought. And carried on. And I just chatted away, let people watch the trains, and we were like that for, I don't know, 15 minutes or so, 10, 15 minutes. Carried on and the hand come back to normal, so I thought that's fine, carry on now. So I did, carried on. And then, as I say, about 4 hours 40-ish into it, I was struggling again. My hand was going to sleep again, and I was struggling moving it and clicking the mouse and coordinating things. And I have gone back and looked at the video myself since I've been home, and you can notice that my words go to like one word at a time. But I think that's more a case of I was concentrating on what I was doing, and because I was concentrating, like I was struggling forming words and shit. I wasn't slurred speech or anything like that, so I didn't expect anything. So yeah, went offline, carried on chatting to Kev. I think it was either Discord or Steam, can't remember, but I was chatting to him sort of offline. I said I'm gonna call 111, see if there's a doctor's surgery open or whether they can send a doctor out just to have a quick look, because obviously losing coordination of your hand is a bit awkward. So he said, yeah, you best get it checked out, mate. He's like, so I go and phone 111. They go through a few things, sorry. A little bit apprehensive about doing this video, so my words are still a little bit iffy. But yeah, going through a few things, and they're like, well, we're going to send an ambulance out. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I don't need an ambulance. I'm fine. I'm not in any pain. I'm not panicking. I'm not like dying or anything like that. You know, I've just like my hand and by then like part of my arm had gone asleep. I said it's just going numb. So I don't think that's necessary. And they're like, well, we really think you should be checked out. I said, yeah, but haven't you got like a doctor's surgery I can go to or something like that? And then no, we want to send an ambulance out. We can't make you have an ambulance, but we would prefer you to have one. And I was like, okay. I said, but there's like, tell them there's no rush. Like if they need to go to an emergency, they can go to there first, you know, and I'll happily wait. There's nothing wrong, you know, or well, there is something wrong, but like nothing seriously wrong. Because next minute I know there's an ambulance coming up with all sirens going. I'm still chatting to Chev, and I go, I think that might be for me, mate. And he's like, oh shit. I said, right, I'm going to go offline, sort this out. I'll be back in an hour or two, which is what I said on stream. I said I'll be back in an hour or two, and we'll be streaming again. It's fine. Just sort my hand out, rest it a bit, and I'll be back. And then nobody heard from me for 3 days. It's like I'd completely gone. No tweets, no Facebook, nothing. Everything just stopped. And like everybody's like, shit, hang on, something's gone wrong here. Where's he gone? Well, basically what happened was the ambulance crew turned up. Brilliant they were. They've checked me over. By then, it's gotten a little bit worse. My face had gone a bit numb, and my leg was a little bit numb as well, and a little bit unsteady on my feet. But again, I still felt 100%, apart from this numbness and loss of coordination on my right hand side, and I still felt like there was nothing serious wrong. You know, I'm fine. You're wasting all your time. And they're like, no. We want to take you in to like check you out, and they can monitor you and everything like that. And I'm going, well, like, how am I going to get home? I haven't got a car. Everybody's at work or on holiday and stuff. So I've got no. Don't worry about that. They're going there. We'll get you back. We've got hospital transport that can sort all that out. Let's just get you in and get you checked over. And I'm like, okay, if you feel it's necessary. And I'm still at that point reluctant to go to the hospital or even have the ambulance there. I'm like, this is like a lot of fuss about nothing. You know, a little bit of lack of coordination. It's inconvenient. It's no biggie. So anyway, I'm taken into A&E, and I'm in there for a long time in A&E. Busy Saturday night, unfortunately, because you're looking at probably about 5 o'clock by now in the afternoon. So things are starting to like heat up in A&E. Very busy, no beds, queues in the hallway, believe it or not. It's so busy in there. So they're constantly taking my blood pressure. They're constantly trying to get needles into me, and if you're skirmish, like, you might want to like close your ears, and because I am talking about needles and stuff quite a bit. So this video isn't for you guys if you are squeamish about needles and stuff. But yeah, they're trying to get needles into me to take blood and stuff, and put a cannula, I think it's called, in where they like inject medicines into you and that if they need to. But yeah, they've struggled. I had, over the space of the 24 hours from when I was in A&E, going through various wards and like tests and stuff that I had, which I'll go through as well, I must have had about 7 doctors and nurses try to get needles into me, probably about 20 times. And I'm going to show you some bruising now, because unfortunately, well, you can already see one on the arm. I have come out a bit battered and bruised. You can see is like all battered and bruised. The hand's not too bad. I've got a couple of pinpricks in there. The hand was actually where they finally got the blood out of, quite a bit later, which was good. But like, oh, my wrist looks like somebody's restrained me, like I've been like a criminal and I've been doing something wrong and they've restrained me. But like, you can see pinpricks, bruises, and it's not just that arm. Oh no, they didn't stop there. And I'm like, they're apologising to me, and I'm like going back to them. So it's not your body that's not refusing to give blood, but you can see like all the places they've tried. My hand, and don't get me wrong, feels fine, and I'm not scared. I'm not squeamish to needles or anything. But I've come out in a lot of bruises because they just couldn't get the blood out. Every time they couldn't either find a vein, or when they did, it would collapse. And then finally, sort of Sunday in the early hours, somebody managed to get like both the cannula in and managed to get the little needle in where they extract blood. And it's got a little thing that they put the vessels, the capsules in. And they got probably about 10 lots of capsules out in the end, which was good. They took loads of blood because they needed to do a full blood screening on me and stuff. So anyway, whilst I was in A&E, I had ECG done and constant blood pressure checked, and my blood pressure was always high. So they kept like making sure I wasn't going to keel over or anything. But again, like, these episodes were coming and going. They weren't constant. Over the space from Saturday through to Monday, well, mostly through to Sunday, because Sunday I started to feel better. I had about 7 like full-on episodes whereby I was struggling with my hand and arm, and my face was numb. And a couple of those included the leg. So it was on and off. And at no time was I scared, to be honest. Apprehensive, I'd say. Worried about, you know, what's actually going on, because they don't know what's going on. They're trying to find out, but I was in the right place. So anyway, ECG, and obviously lots of needles trying to get blood tests and the cannula in, and constant blood pressure monitoring. And then like later that evening they moved me up to the acute stroke ward, which should have been a clue to me, but obviously still wasn't a clue. It was just a case of, you know, they're going to put me where they've got a free bed. I was still like, oh, I can go home if you like, and they're like, no, we need to monitor you and keep you monitored. So anyway, it goes up to the acute monitor ward where they're going to keep you for 24 hours and check you over. But then they want further tests done, so they explain all the tests as they go through them all. So they're constantly doing like motor neuron checks or whatever they're doing, that your coordination and your strengths in your arm and your legs and your body and stuff. During those, and they do them each time they do a blood test basically and go through, they reckon I did have, like when I was having the episodes, I had quite a bit of less strength in the right hand side of my body, and when I wasn't having the episodes I probably had about 5 to 10% less strength as well, even though I was like feeling completely fine, and I wasn't numb at the time and things like that, like when I'd gone back to normal after having each episode. They then sent me down for a CAT scan, which I'm starting to think, yeah, hang on, this is getting a little bit more serious now. They're going this far and spending this cash on me to have like these sort of tests. So anyway, goes and has a CAT scan, takes me down on a wheelchair, brings me back to the ward again, constantly being supervised, by the way. Won't let me go anywhere on your own, not even to the loo. Like, they stand outside the door. They really do. It's a little bit, you feel, I don't know, I'm used to my privacy and things like that, and when there's like nurses around that like won't let you go anywhere and do things privately, it's like, okay, yeah, I want to be private, can you just go away for a minute? It's like, and they won't. So but yeah, taken down on the wheelchair, had a CAT scan done, come back, they wait for the results, then come over to me, right, that's come back clear, and I'm thinking, oh, that's a relief, you know, that's okay, there's nothing wrong there then. So anyway, carry on, I'll have another episode. So they then say, we're going to take down for another, now we've got the cannula in, and this is like in the early hours of Sunday morning. We're going to take you down for another CAT scan, and what they do is they'll inject fluid in the cannula, and you'll feel all warm, like a hot flush, and basically it shows up on the CAT scan all the blood flow from your heart all up your veins and into your brain and stuff. And I'm like, right, okay, maybe I was a little bit too quick thinking that, like, oh, the CAT scan's come back all right, I'm okay, because obviously they're now doing a second CAT scan. So anyway, go and have that, comes out. It does, I'll tell you as well, it's a little bit disconcerting, the hot flush, because it makes it feel like you wee yourself. You don't, I'd like to point that out, you don't actually wee yourself, but you do feel like you've just wet yourself. It's that kind of, it goes right the way across your body, because obviously it goes through your blood, and it's quite quick as well. It's like only a matter of a few seconds. So it kind of made me think, like, wow, that's quick, because like your blood is obviously, they're injecting that in your arm, and that's gone around your system that quick. So it is quite quick. It's only a few seconds, or it felt like that anyway. But I will admit, losing track of time over that weekend. It was quite a long weekend. So anyway, come back to the ward again. They're monitoring me. I'm having something to eat. I think it was beef lasagna, and then I had quite a bad attack where I was really struggling to even hold a knife. I couldn't like touch my own nose like I can now. I can do it. And they were putting their finger up and saying, "Could you touch the finger?" So if you like that, you know, you were going like that. And again, I couldn't do that with my right hand. I could do it with my left. I couldn't do it with my right. I just couldn't hit the points that they were telling me to hit. And it was slower and like very clumsy and stuff. It's a little bit disconcerting because like you've got a nurse there, you've got a specialist nurse, you've got the consultant there. They actually, I think it was about 1 o'clock Sunday morning, called a consultant out from the home because my blood pressure was way above 200, which obviously isn't right, and according to them it's dangerous, but I felt fine, to be honest. But yeah, so they've gone and done this second CAT scan. It's come back again. It's all clear. Nothing wrong. So I'm thinking, that's all right. My brain's still intact. And I did make a bit of a joke, which they kind of look at you funny. They know you're joking. But I'm like, well, you scanned the wrong bit of my body. My brain's down in my little toe sort of thing. And they've heard it all before, obviously. And they look at you a little bit funny, thinking, yeah, you're not funny, mate. You're not funny at all. You may think you are, but you've not got a career on YouTube. Seriously, you haven't. Like, give it up now. So anyway, go through that. So they then request an MRI, and I'm thinking, shit, no, that is serious. Like, the MRI is like very expensive. You're talking millions of pounds of equipment they're going to use on me. You know, why are they doing that? And they then go, they explain it all as they go through. Again, I'm still not worried at this point. I'm still fine. I know I'm going in and out of these things. Something's causing it. So there's obviously an issue there they need to find. But I still don't think it's serious. So I go down, have the MRI. They also then take me on for a chest X-ray at the same time, so they can do that at the same time because it's just around the corner from where the MRI is. So I've had the MRI. I'm in there about 10 minutes. It's a bit noisy. Very, very claustrophobic. So if you're claustrophobic, it would be awkward. But just, if need be, close your eyes, and they put earplugs into you because it is loud. But don't panic, because like, it's a solid piece of kit. It's not going to crush you or anything like that. You're not going to get squished if you ever have to go in one, and heaven forbid you do. But I'm not a person who worries about things like that. I'll be straight in there like, yeah, fine. It's not an issue. You do what you need to do. And same with all the needles that they're putting in me. It's like, you carry on. I'm apologising to them because it's my body, and they're apologising to me because they're unable to do what they need to do. As if they're incompetent, which they're not. It's my body that's rejecting the needles. It's not anything to do with the people that are trying to do it. It's purely a case of my body's playing up at the moment and they can't do what they need to do. So goes and have the MRI. They wait for the results. I'm back in bed again. So I spend basically 3 days in bed, which is a little bit lazy. To be honest, I'm not a person that will stay in bed that long. I barely have 5 hours a night, and I'm up and about, which incidentally could be something to do with this issue, which I will explain a bit more in a minute. But they come back and they come up to me, the consultant comes across, and they said, I'm afraid to tell you, you've had a mild stroke. And it's like, that point I do get a bit upset. But I'm still not worried. I'm still not scared. I'm in the right place. And that's sort of why I've decided to do this video, because it's always important that if you're not feeling well, you do go and get the proper help and get into the right place so that you can receive proper care. Now, I know lots of you are all over the world, and you're not going to have like what we have here in the UK, which is the NHS, the National Health Service, which is fantastic. You're not all going to have that, but do something. You know, if you or someone around you is not feeling good, do something. Now, I'm a little bit confused because I always thought a stroke, you'll have slurred speech, the right hand side of the body or left hand side, it can be either, depending on which side of the brain you have the stroke on, goes like droopy and numb, and your face goes like droopy and that, and person sort of mumbles and slurred speech and all of that, and I wasn't having any of that. So I was thinking, well, you know, I wasn't having a stroke. I didn't even have it in my brain that I was having a stroke at the time. But obviously I had a mild stroke. Now, you guys are going to say, what's a stroke? There's different types of stroke. I'm not going to go into all of that. But basically what's happened to me is there's been a clot in my blood for whatever reason. And it basically stops the blood from getting to your brain. It blocks up your veins and stuff. So your brain effectively gets starved from the oxygen in the blood, is my understanding. Now, again, I'm no expert. I'll put some links to the NHS stuff in the description of the video for you guys, because I'm not a medical professional, so I'm not going to tell you all that stuff. But that's the understanding of what was going on with me, was like the blood wasn't getting through to my brain. It got starved for X amount of time. I don't know how long. They won't know how long. Like, you won't be able to tell that. You'll never be able to tell that, I don't think. But it got starved from oxygen, and like this is what was causing the funny turns. So it could have been one stroke, it could have been 7 strokes, it could have been like during each episode. Again, they won't be able to tell that from the scans that they've done with the MRI. But obviously that points to my high blood pressure. So my high blood pressure could have been for ages. I don't know. Now, I know when I had my accident, like don't panic with that scar, because that was my accident last year, which I had, where I broke my wrist, where I took a nasty fall and I had surgery on it. I know after that, for about a month, I had high blood pressure, but I thought it had gone away, but maybe it didn't. Maybe all this time I was like working in a stressful environment at the taxi business, it was still high, and it's not been doing any good. And while I've been out of work and, you know, struggling a bit, trying to find another job and successfully find a job, and I will come back to that again in a moment. But all that time has caused some stress there. That's probably kept my blood pressure really high, and I haven't like checked it or anything at all myself, or via the GP. I never go to the GP unless I'm keeling over, and obviously that's all going to change now. So the high blood pressure is an issue, and that's an ongoing risk that's got to be managed. Also, the thickening of my blood, because my blood's too thick, which is why they're struggling to get the blood out of me. That's an issue, and these things in the small blood cells called statins, or lack of them. So they're giving me tablets for all 3 of those things, which is making me all right, or as abnormal as I was before, should I say. So yeah, I'm on these 3 pills now. They will be checking my blood pressure ongoing. I've then come back to normal because they've got me on these drugs in the hospital, and they monitor me for another sort of 24 hours. They moved me to a recovery ward by then. They've taken me off the acute ward, so the panic's over. They found out what's wrong and they're treating it. They've got it down. Blood pressure is slowly coming down, and I'm getting rest. I'm feeling all right. I'm still mobile, still going to the toilet backwards and forwards to there. Still drinking, still eating. So things are coming back to normal again. So they put me on the recovery ward and they continue to monitor me. Now, I think the most worrying thing to me whilst on that ward was you can see other people that are older than me that have had 2 or 3 strokes to a greater severity. And it is scary what can happen, because like there's people in there. I'm not, you know, I don't know their names. I'm not going to name names, but like they've lost like the right, like one side of their body completely, or they're completely immobile and they can't even feed themselves. So there is, you know, it is a serious issue, and can be if you don't manage it right. So, you know, if you're over a certain age, I mean, I had a health check this year, or last year, should I say. So they are available there. So go and get an MOT at GP, definitely. Because it may pick up things like that, and investigate them. Because I'm not one for doing that. I'm terrible. I'm like, I feel fine. I'll just carry on with my normal day-to-day life. This is the thing. So go and get checked up, basically, is what I'm trying to say as part of this video. So anyway, I've been allowed to come out Monday night. So no one's heard from me from Saturday. And obviously people are worried. There's loads of email messages. I come home and I just rest, to be honest. I don't contact anybody. I then sort myself out and then start like contacting people sort of halfway through Tuesday and slowly getting back to normal again. The future, right? Well, obviously I'm on these 3 meds. So I'm on a blood pressure tablet, a blood thinning tablet, and it's not warfarin or anything like that, so it's not a really bad one that's going to give me loads of side effects or anything. And I'm on this other tablet that puts statin in your cholesterol and gets your cholesterol lower, so you manage it better. So all those 3 are having a good effect on my body already. And I've got to take those. I think I can drop down to 2 of those later on. I have to go back for a full checkup at the clinic in about 6 weeks. I have to constantly see my GP now. He's been notified, and he is going to set up a ECG monitor on me for a 72-hour period at some point near. They're waiting for my blood pressure to come down a bit more, to be honest. So that's going to be done. So then they'll monitor that, make sure there's no adverse effects happened with my heart as well. But yeah, there's no reason I can't get back to a proper life again. And I feel normal most of the time. Occasionally a little bit dodgy on my feet, like a little bit wobbly in that, but nothing serious. I think a lot of it is apprehension. It's like going through your mind what happens, like every little sensation that I get now, I'm like, oh, is it happening again, sort of thing. It's like you start to, I won't say worry because I'm not worried, but I'm apprehensive about like what happens, you know. And I've got my brother checking in and my sister checking in like daily, and friends, you know, they're phoning me like in the evenings and that to say you know you're all right, you had a good day, sort of thing. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. It's like, go away, leave me alone. No, I'm not like that, honest. But yeah, they're just checking up to make sure I haven't had another attack and I'm immobile or anything like that, which it shouldn't be. I have to do major changes in diet. I've already done that. Sainsbury's are delivering tonight, so I've got to eat things like oily fish, wholemeal bread, which I was told I wasn't allowed because of my IBS, so it may flare up my IBS. I have to see more fruit, more veg, so ordered more of that. It's all right them saying all this, but it is very hard to do when you're out of work, because the money the government gives you to live off isn't enough. It seriously isn't. Like years ago, people were like, oh yeah, people go on the dole and like they just milk it because they get paid money and they live up pretty sweet lives, and that. It seriously isn't like that these days, guys. If you think it is, you're like fooling yourself. If you get into the position that like people out of work are, you will struggle to get through each month, pay your bills and put food on the table. It is like that, and that again is another stress that you have each month. But it's, to me, that's my problem, and it's like it's nobody else's. It's not. I don't like talk my finances through with anybody. Don't talk my eating habits through with anybody. It's down to me. I've always sorted myself out, and I've got through, and I always have done. I'm here 46 years later. I'm still kicking, alive and kicking. So none of that's an issue. I shall keep on kicking as much as I can. Probably screaming along the way. You never know. So got to change my diet. The one thing I don't do, and I'm really bad of, and I need to do, is exercise. Even when I'm out at work. I used to be fairly active at work because I worked in a production environment, so I'd be getting up, getting down, operating machinery, stuff like that. But I then went, after the sort of management roles that I then went into sales, which is basically sat at a desk. And then I went into the call centre, like the taxi business for 2 years, sat at a desk again. I'm still looking at jobs for sitting at a desk, which is not good because I know I'm not active anymore. I know I have a lack of vitamin D in my body, so my bones ache time to time. But I take a vitamin D supplement which sort of counter that, so I'm a lot better than what I was sort of 3 or 4 years ago. But even walking to the corner shop, I don't do it. It's like I'll order online and it will be delivered to my house. Those are things I'm changing. So I'm going to do more walking and stuff and more exercise. But again, it's time. When I was at the taxi business, I was doing 60 hours a week and then coming home and recording a full-time YouTube channel and Twitch occasionally. And by the time I finish all that and have a bit of chill time to myself, that was like no time left to go out and exercise or do anything like that. And I'm sat down all this time. So again, it's having an effect on my blood and my muscles and stuff. And it's made me unfit. And obviously I need to change that. I used to be very fit. I used to do a lot of cycling. I used to cycle from here and I could go out and cycle 100 miles in a day and come back and think, right, I could do that again now. That was when I was in my mid-20s, say, but 20 years ago. But I used to be at that level of fitness. I used to be really good. I've put on weight. I need to lose weight. Something else I need to go through with the doctor as an exercise plan, and obviously slimming and stuff like that because I need to lose weight. And I don't have a clue about food and diets and all that crap. Really don't. So I need to work all that out. But yeah, I've got a plan in place, and I am that sort of person whereby, right, okay, something's wrong. How do I create a workaround, or how do I fix it? And they're putting that in place. I've got a community stroke nurse who's going to be coming around every now and then to check up on me, see if I need anything, see if I need any assistance in any areas. So there are things in place. So no one panic. I'm fine. As I say, I am taking a bit of a break. I am going to record a couple of videos today to get something up on the channel over the next few days. Obviously this one, which is, I was expecting it to take 10 minutes and we're nearly at half an hour, so I'm going to end it. I'm going to wrap it up soon. But yeah, I am taking a bit of a break because I don't want to come back and sit here doing a full-time YouTubing and then suffering another one. Basically, I need to take note of what's happened and take a break. Job wise, obviously everybody just knew that I'd been offered a job to start next week. I can't start that now. Unfortunately, this has put a massive spanner in the works. I'm not allowed to drive for a month. I have to notify the DVLA and my insurance company if I had one, because the car's off the road at the moment. I've taken it off the road because it's cheaper, effectively. I've parked it up at my brother's, so it's all legally done. So I don't pay insurance at the moment, but I will have to notify any future insurance company that I've had a mild stroke. That will get assessed whether I can drive after that 4 weeks by a doctor. So that may get extended. And obviously then I have to notify the DVLA again. So no driving for a month, which is good because I need to walk. But I've been in touch with both the job centre and the employer that offered me the job and explained what's going on. I've had a long chat on the phone with him. They've spoken to their managers, basically said, look, when you get out of this 2 months, when you're feeling fitter, come back to us. We're taking another look at it as to what we've got in terms of head count and whether we can squeeze you in somewhere or somewhere else, whether we can squeeze you into that role that I'd applied for and been accepted for, or there'd be another position for me. So again, that's a chat. Now, part of me thinks is that I don't think it's a cop out from them to try and say, right, well, we better put this still open so he doesn't have another stroke because he panics or anything. But part of me think they are genuine because they are nice people. Everybody I met there, it's a very relaxed atmosphere and it's a very nice company. So I don't think that is the case. Although big corporates can do that. They can, you know, I've worked for big corporates in the past, and they're like, well, the company is prepared to give you this and that, and like they're a bit funny. Like when my mum died, it was a case of the company I worked at that time was like, well, you know, you're allowed 5 days off compassionate leave, but we'll give you your mum's funeral off as well. Now, they don't mean to say it like that. It just comes out because they have to check all the legality of everything of what they're doing. But it come across like that, and that pissed me off at the time. So it's one of those things. So again, I don't think they're doing it. They're being nasty about it. I think they're just genuinely like get in touch in 2 months, and then we'll look at it. You know, we're genuinely, if we can employ you, we will do, which is fine. If not, I'm back to square one and I'm looking for work again. So no biggie. The videos will carry on. I'm still going to get the videos down to 1 a day, or try 1 a day, or half an hour's worth of videos a day. I'm still going to cut them back to then. But for the time being, you might not get videos. You'll get the odd one. I will see how I am Saturday to do a live stream. But again, you're probably not going to get a live stream this week, but you'll probably get one next week, and it may be shorter than usual. We shall see. Or I might do it in the week. I might do a different one. It's a shame because I've actually got several new games come free to show you guys. I've got Mass Transit for City Skylines. I actually got a press release, so I could have shown you that a couple of days ago, but unfortunately my health has prevented that. It goes live today, I believe. So again, I could have done a live stream today. I'm not feeling up to doing hours and hours. I'm still a little bit unsteady, so I'm not going to go there. So maybe I'll do that the weekend, I don't know, for a few hours and show that off. I've been, obviously, production line. I thought production line was due out today, but looking on Steam it says the 1st of June, so it might have been delayed to the 1st of June, or it might come out today, I don't know. But I was planning a live stream for that, but obviously that can now wait. But that's going to be a video I'm going to record next, and hopefully get that up today as well. And then I will probably go back to Avon Colony, because those I can do like half an hour episodes, and they're nice and easy to manage and stuff like that. So I'll probably get those going first. And then I'll slowly start back into it next week, because I've been told to take at least 3 or 4 days from doing nothing, which I'm kind of 2 days into that now, so I'm halfway there. So doing a couple of videos is nothing still to me. I think I can get away with that. They won't know. But yeah, I'm going to do a couple of videos, see how I am, and do them over the course of today. Get those up, and then slowly get you back to normal on the channel, but obviously try and keep them to half an hour episodes where I can, or Transport Fever, obviously you're not going to get those to half an hour. They're probably, I'm going to try and get them down to 45 minutes though. I want to switch the map. I want to start a new series on Transport Fever, so I want to hear down in the comments what your thoughts are on that, because I'm now having to take a bit of a break from it. It's going to leave a bit of a gap anyway. We've connected every city up. We've got loads of different industries connected up. Not all. We haven't done steel, for instance, so we haven't made machines or tools, so we still could do that. Or we could like move on to a completely new map. Now there's I've been working with a chap through Steam, and I've got a 6K map of Europe that's up there with no industries or industries. I could try that, but move the years on, so we go past, we skip the Steam era, and maybe even play with no costs and all the mods on, and just have a play, see what we can create. So almost like a unlimited series, like we did with Train Fever, like Train Fever Unlimited that we did like series 5. But we could do that now. Or shall I run on a little bit further? I'm sort of open to ideas on that. I've also, strangely enough, been sent a key for Stellaris, the anniversary edition as well, so quite a bit of DLC with it. So I've sat here a little bit last night just having a play with it, and it really is good. It's very like Endless Space, which I used to play a lot of with a friend of mine. So very good game. But I tempted to ask the developer for it, and I didn't. And it hasn't come from the developer. The developer actually gave it to another developer, and they passed it on to me, which is like really like, well, hang on, why do you are dealing with Paradox? Because like you're nothing to do with that at all. They were like, no, we went to the Paradox convention. I was like, right, okay, but you're a totally different company. Surely that would be like people like me who would go to something like a Paradox convention, not like people like another developer. Anyway, they've given me a key for it. Brilliant. I'll thank them for it. Want to bring new content. It's quite a long-winded game, so I don't know whether to make that into a YouTube series or do some live stream. I might start with some live streams, show it off, and go from there, because it is a good game and it's something that I would enjoy playing. It probably will go tits up anyway, because like I don't know the game that well at the moment. I don't know combat very well in it. I kind of get the gist with it. It's very similar to Endless Space in that thing, but I don't know any of the diplomacy or that side of the game yet. So I'm still, you know, I need to watch some YouTube videos myself, because I wasn't planning on getting this title. Possibly getting, I think it's Galactic Crusader. Waiting to hear on that, so I've had a few emails going back with Stardock on that, so that may also become more content, more videos, more pressure. Don't worry, I won't explode. I'm going to take it easy. But yeah, there's other things coming up is what I'm trying to say, so all good. So yeah, the future's still bright. It's still black and orange as far as I'm concerned. Still very much black and orange, and I still plan to continue to do YouTube. I'm not going to like disappear. I will probably do something with my brother, so that if I ever have something like this happen again where I disappear, people get notified, because obviously quite a lot of you were worried, and I've been going through the last couple of days all the email messages and all the Facebook posts and everything, and notified people, not to this depth necessarily, but most of them have been notified of, you know, this is why I went into hospital. And this is why I've been like completely disappeared for 3 days. So quite a few people know that. So this is the first time I'm openly telling everybody that the reason I was away was because I suffered a mild stroke. But I'm back and I'm still abnormal, apparently. Yeah, we're fine. Think of it as power issues for my body. Similar to what I have in Avon Colony. Just think of it like that, because blood, as Tails the Gamer told me, is like the electricity of the body. It's flowing around, it's pumping around like electricity, and it is. So I basically had a power issue. That's all. We've plugged back in. It's all fine. We're all sorted. So we're going to wrap it up there, I think. Yep. So as I said, job's up in the air. I'm not that worried about that, to be honest. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'll look for something else and I'll go back to square one. It's not a problem. So yeah, over the next week or so, you're going to get intermittent sort of things. I will try and keep active on Facebook and Twitter as much as I can, because there I can just sit there with my laptop with that. That's fine. I can sit on the couch and do that over there. And I need to be a bit more active going out as well, so I'm going to do that over the next sort of few days. Do a little bit more each day and go from there, really. So any questions you have, obviously, if they're medical, go and see a doctor, because I can't answer you. But any questions you got about me or what's happening for the future or anything like that, or anything you want to throw down below, throw down below. When I'm doing live streams, I would say, if you're thinking of coming along to see me croquet, you're going to be, unfortunately, like, I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry. I'm going to frustrate you to hell. I'm not going to croquet on live on camera, so don't think I'm going to. So don't follow me for that reason, is what I'm saying. If you want to come along and chat normally, it's fine. I'm expecting the normal indulge of, well, how are you feeling in chat and that. That's fine. I probably might get a little bit irritated after a while, because it will probably carry on happening. But I'd rather people just come along and enjoy the games and just chat normally. And I know that's your way of thinking to me now is going to change, which I kind of why I didn't want to make the video. But what I wanted to make the video for was the fact that some of you out there may need to go, you know, get checked over by your doctor. You might have underlying health issues you don't know about. You know, somebody near you might have a stroke. And now you know, don't matter how bad the stroke is, just go and, you know, if even in the non-emergency line, you know, go and phone it. Obviously different for different countries. I don't know what every country is. If you've suffered something and want to share it, you can, by all means, put it down in the comments below. If you know the procedure in your country and say, I'm from, I don't know, wherever, whatever country you're from, and what they normally do in this country is there's a, you know, you would dial whatever number, you can put that down below so the people in that country will know what to do. But like, go and seek medical help. for yourself or somebody else if someone's suffering from something like this. Or, you know, just go and get a health check if you're getting around my age, sort of in your 40s sort of thing, getting a bit older, less active. You know, go and get a health check from a doctor. Some of you I know will probably have to pay for it in different countries. We're lucky that I have that service free. I can go to the GP, even when I'm working, I can go to a GP and get checked out while I'm working. If I'm working, I have to pay for the medicines, and it's per item you pay, not, and they like have a standard price in the UK, so that isn't too bad. Other countries you could pay more for like more expensive drugs and stuff, so it is different per country. So I understand that, and I can't advise you on all of that. So, but just think of it, it's your lives. Check them out, get checked out. You know, be a little bit more proactive, do a bit of exercise, eat more healthily. Like, do all of those things that I haven't been doing and I should be doing, and I am going to try to do ongoing in the future. But I'm going to wrap it up there. 40 minutes. Like I said, I get my videos down in half an hour. 40 minutes, way too long. I'm force of habit. But as you can see, I'm fine. I'm still alive. I'm still kicking. Sorry for the disruption. I will be back to making videos, as I say, over the next few weeks. They'll creep back in, and we'll get back up to sort of half an hour a day videos. And we'll go from there. We'll do some live streams, and we'll get back to normal. And then hopefully, at the end of 2 months, I'll be sort of told I'm okay. I can now wait another 6 months for a checkup. And we'll be all fine. I'll be doing exercise. I'll have that in like my lifestyle, which I'm altering. And we'll be back to normal with the videos. And hopefully I'll be back to work. You know, hopefully they say, right, you can start on such and such a day. If not, I'll be looking for work. So no biggie, we'll be back there. But that's it for the moment. I will hopefully get a production line video up today for you, because you've been waiting for that since Friday, because it should have been live Friday and I haven't recorded it yet. Just need to check if there's another update. I think there is. So yeah, stay tuned and I will be back. Any comments, questions you got, like down below. I'll put, as I say, links to the NHS site and bits and pieces about the stroke and that in the description of the video for anybody that wants it. But that's it. Share this video out if you want to create more awareness. It's a bit long-winded, I do apologise, but I'm a bit of a gas bag in that sense. But I will see you all again very soon, unless I croak it, which I won't. Just don't panic. No one panic. It's all fine. Bye bye.